Tomatoes. Tomatoes. What about the...
This is a tomato plant. There are lots and lots more of these where we were going.
Imagine if you said, oh, she's funny.
So we had planted over 64 tomato plants earlier in the spring, and now was the time to go back and harvest them. I think a few more plants got planted somewhere along the way because there were a heck of a lot more plants than I remembered, and one whole whack of tomatoes.
Well, we got back to the scene of the planting, and there were tomatoes. Sure enough, you would expect that if you plant 10,000 tomato plants.
We set up a little assembly line, so my dad was picking them all, which is actually really good because there's a lot of mosquitoes out in the garden. So he was picking the tomatoes, then we'd wash them, then someone else would dry them. We had a couple people cutting off just the little bit of the ends, making sure that there was no mud, and then chunking them into pieces that would actually fit into the tomato pulverizer, musher upper, squisher thing.
Kind of a process of making tomato sauce, which is a whole lot easier once you have this giant machine that you pound down the stuff and squirts out the other end and you get tomato sauce. It's a very gratifying process to crush all those tomatoes. Well, I found it gratifying.
A fresh tomato sauce, the taste is just phenomenal. There's nothing else that compares. There's just nothing else that compares.
There's a lot of cool things about gardening and farming that I wasn't previously informed about. There's propane, there's open flame, there are machines that grind things up. There's a lot of good things that really keep your interest.
We made tomato sauce, so we pureed up all of the tomatoes, and we had a very expensive piece of machinery that my dad bought, thank you, that actually separated out all the peels, the core, the seeds and everything, so that you would just end up with a tomato puree. And then you need to boil it down, and boil it, and boil it, and boil it.
And boil it, and boil it.
So we just boil it, boil it, boil it.
And boil it.
And he actually had three burners with big pots, boiling the tomatoes down. And then my sister and I each also took a couple really big buckets of tomato puree, and then we boiled our own down at our house.
And boil it.
Summer just isn't summer without a toasted tomato sandwich.
The toasted tomato sandwich. Super tasty, not friendly to the roof of your mouth.
We have a lot of toasted tomato sandwiches in the summertime, especially when you plant close to 100 tomato plants.
I would show you, if you wouldn't be grossed out, I would show you the roof. It's not pretty. It's not pretty.
I mean, you know you need to eat more vegetables, right? Tomatoes are packed with vitamin C. Cooked tomatoes have lycopene, which is a nutrient that may help to reduce risk for cancer. Lots of goodness packed into a tomato.
So the great part, I think, about having fresh food, especially something like a tomato, is you can see it go from seed to plant to tomato. That one's probably not ripe. I will tell you this neat little trick though. You put it in the Ziploc bag, only as much as you would use for a dinner, and then you squeeze the air out, but you let it flatten out so that it's like a pancake, and that's how you put it in your freezer. You probably knew that. I didn't.